Welcome to Slayerfest 98. I'm Ian Carlos Crawford.
I'm Jason. Hey, and we are going to discuss Angel Season 2, episode Dead End, and Lindsey.
And Lindsey.
That's what we're going to discuss.
And sexual tension. Before we get into that, though, I'm going to promo our upcoming live show on October 29th. Come spend Halloween weekend with us at the Stonewall Inn. You will see Ryan doing ridiculously fantastic drag numbers as Anya, set to the music of Olivia Rodrigo, and we'll be doing a remixed, remastered script reading of Fear itself. You can find us. You can buy tickets on Eventbrite. You can buy tickets at the door. We have deluxe tickets, regular tickets. Ryan and I will get progressively drunker on stage, and it'll be a blast. And then also, we have our Patreon, where we're covering Batman the Animated Series, X-Men the Animated Series, which hasn't started releasing yet, Buffy 25th Anniversary Season 3 episodes. You can get access to our watch-alongs, our Zoom calls, our Discord channel, and our private Facebook group. And any and all support is much appreciated. Now, Jason, what did you think of this episode, revisiting it?
Well, you know, just from revisiting it, I was just saying to you, actually, and I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this yet. It felt quick. Like, it just felt quick, and it really just felt like, hey, let's just get rid of the person I love, and that's it.
It was like a soft breakup. It wasn't like a hard breakup. It was like they were parting, they were good. Felt like a mutual breakup of Angel and Lindsey for this episode, and then we know he comes back. So yeah, the episode is like I didn't even like the only thing I remembered was the end. That's the only thing I remembered from this episode. Like literally
and I
nothing
just feel
else.
like this episode, like with where it's like I guess seated in all of this, like it just comes up so fast.
Yes,
like it's just like here you go.
Yep,
have this episode. See ya.
And it also feels like a weird like last Lindsey episode because it's like a whole nothing of an episode.
Exactly. Like, I mean, who knows behind the scenes, like what's happening with like, you know, all that stuff. But like, it just felt too fast. Like you can't give them like a 3-episode arc or, you know, like, I don't know.
I will. Hold on. I have something to read actually about that because I kept saying,
oh, really?
I kept saying that I thought it was that Christian Kane and Julie Benz weren't available. And that's why, because like, her arc comes to a like screeching halt and like so does his, and it's like very weird. And I had heard rumors that it was because both those actors weren't available and that's why it like ends so abruptly. But okay, so Joe Hill, who does a lot of the like very cool customs that you see on the images, he does the faces for them. Mm-hmm. He sent me this thing that he read by Tim Minear, who was like one of the showrunners on Angel, where someone asked him what was the original ending for the season for season 2 intended to be had Julie Benz and Christian Kane been available. And he said, I have to be honest, I know that some people recall Pylea as a reaction to those actors not being available. I remember it differently. I could be wrong. I remember that we were sitting around thinking about the next few episodes, and we were all a little weary of the Darla drama, and someone said, can we just do something totally unexpected and go to Oz? And we did. Now, it may be they weren't available, and we still planned on telling that beige Angel arc without those characters. I don't know what the fuck that means. Beige? Is he like insulting it? Beige Angel arc without those characters, and that's when the Oz of it all was mentioned, but I don't remember it that way. But
interesting.
I will say, and you know, this is no shade or whatever, because you know, you and I don't fucking remember. Like, it was a job to them, right? So sometimes when I've had people from the show on, they will say something, and I'm like, ooh, that's incorrect. But I understand because it was a job to them. They're not like super hardcore fans. So it could be that he's misremembering. I remember one of the writers for Buffy that we had on told us, oh, we couldn't do this scene and I was bummed we had to cut it because I really liked it. But like the scene was in the episode and I was like, well, whatever. So probably was, you know what I mean? Probably was that there was a discussion of cutting it and then they didn't. But so he could be, I feel like the Oz of it all seems like it would come into like, well, we don't really have these actors right now. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
I just wanted to read that because I kept saying that about the rumor about Julie Benz and Christian Kane not being available. So it may or may not be true. But yeah, I almost feel like the episodes before this, the 2-episode arc, Reprise and Epiphany, where like Angel comes back into the fold and like goes back to everyone, would have been a better ending for Lindsey.
Yeah.
Right? Because like Darla leaves, but even she just like leaves. He goes to his apartment and she's like gone. She's like packed her shit. that would have been like, because that two episode arc is really good, and this episode's kind of more like a fart. I don't know. Whenever this
like a fart,
the like plot of it feels very Angel season 1.
How often do you describe episodes as a fart?
I don't think that often, Jason.
Okay, because that just caught me off guard, I think.
Also, I want to point out the reason this episode is just me and Jason is because I knew I needed Jason on for the last Lindsey episode. And then I fully forgot to get anyone else.
I honestly though, like I was excited you asked me. Then I watched. I was like, man, like I forgot.
I mean, I'm sure we'll spend more time on the end than like anything else. But yeah, I did not remember the plot of this episode. I mean, sure, his last episode going back to his hand, sure, like, but I feel like I don't know, they could have done more with like oh, the body parts are making people do like wild murderous things. I don't know.
Right. And maybe, yeah, they could have drugged out the story a little bit longer and like trying to figure out how is this even happening. Yeah, I agree.
Yes. But so the episode, I mean, I don't mind where the episode starts with a shirtless Lindsey. Man looks great.
Okay. Hold on. Let's talk about this scene here.
Hit me.
Gets up, shirtless. I mean, that's the first thing you see, and you're like, fuck yeah, okay, cool. Gets up, everything is great. And honestly, when he, dresses and he looks longingly at his guitar, I'm sitting there like, you know what? Thank God he can't play this. Like, because I already was annoyed thinking about him playing. And I mean, I know, later on, but you know what I mean? Like, that's literally, I rolled my eyes like, oh.
He's like, I just want to play Wonderwall.
He's one of those guys. So that was my, he pops that out at parties. It's just like, hey guys, any requests? Okay, anyway, like playing not your requests.
Anyway, here's Matchbox 20. I not to shame anyone, but I did once, and I don't know if you recall this, Jason, from when we were younger. I did once date a guy who did that, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, after we were like done everything, like hooking up, he like pulled out his guitar, and I was just like, am I in hell? Like, what?
But like, it's like wait, like no one wants to hear you sing at them, like just randomly at a like, okay, I'll go to your concert if you won't do that in front of me at like a random place.
And like, I feel like it needs to be. Jason is married to a singer, and like, so even like, and I know Gabs would also agree with that.
Gabs would absolutely agree with that.
So it's not just us being assholes about like people singing, and also I don't know if you remember one year.
Wait, there is someone listening to this right now, putting down their guitar all sadly.
Listen, if you like doing it, tell us to fuck off. Who cares? Who cares what we think?
Yeah. Who cares what we think? Don't worry about us. We're just angry old men now.
Or the two old men from the Muppets in the little like balcony. Throwing fucking tomatoes at whoever's playing guitar. Yes, but Lindsey also would be that guy, right? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Like, he wants to play that guitar to Angel after they fuck. Like, he absolutely wants to pull it out.
Oh yeah. Like sitting up in bed after they're like,
while Angel's getting a towel, he's just playing guitar. So then also,
sorry, we got off. Wait,
I knew we were about to write sexy fanfic. I
literally was just like, and so I got this much time, and like we're already going off on tangents. That's the first scene, everyone.
I know.
We are gonna blast through this quick. That's why I know.
Yes, like I feel like, especially the middle of this, it's kind of like things
like
happen.
Oh, okay.
So the only other thing that is like kind of important, and it is kind of important, like moving forward, is so we see that man with this like guy getting his family ready, and then he picks up a knife, and we see that Cordy has like a really bad vision, like like I feel like we prior to this hadn't seen her so affected. Like, she's like crying, she's like freaking out. It's like clear that
I was wondering, is this the first time we see her like really affected by it?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I looked that up too, because I was like, wait, I don't think, and it says that this is like the start of them really affecting her.
Okay. Cool.
So like, that's important. I mean, it doesn't matter that it's in this episode, but that's like,
it is important. Yes.
Yeah, part of the plot. And then post credits, Wolfram and Hart is having their reevaluation of Lindsey and Lila. We learn this whole thing is very like me trying to pretend I know how like a big corporation works, because it feels like it's just like, yes, reevaluation. Well, like, of what? I don't know. Like,
yeah, what are we reevaluating right here?
Like, I guess it's like their jobs as the head of but like, I don't know, just leave them there. I don't know, like, what is the purpose of this other than to create drama? But I guess if you're at an evil demon law firm, then maybe they like doing that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lila mentions to Lindsey, one of them will get promoted and the other one will get cut quite literally because it's an evil law firm. And then after the meeting, Lindsey kind of talks, or the new boss kind of talks to Lindsey about his attitude over Angel, but then also that he is going to get him a new hand. What?
It's just, everyone notices it. Everyone knows.
I mean, right? It's like, dude, I know you want to suck his dick, but you got to be professional. We're at work.
We all know.
Yeah. Then we cut to the Hyperion Hotel. We do see that Cordy is like super affected by this. The thing I do like is I do like seeing they've like just all come back together, but I do like seeing them all united in like, oh, we love Cordy and we know this is affecting her. We want to help her.
It kind of in a way like pulls them a little closer again, you know.
Yeah. Then we very quickly just cut to Lindsey getting his surgery. He's like at the clinic and like they do a little Grey's Anatomy surgery POV, but then they're like, where's the Polkla demon or whatever the fuck it is, and kind of like glides in like a fucking Masters of the Universe monster.
Like I was just like, oh, he's got the gentleman glide, you know?
Yeah, and the spooky salad finger hands.
Yo, those hands, like, how is he eating?
How does he wipe?
Oh, I don't even want to know that.
So yeah, I mean, kudos for getting a creepier looking demon. I like the like demon whispers.
Yeah, I love a little like extra, because like some of them you're just kind of like,
yeah.
But this one I love a little, you know, the little floaties.
Yes, some of them it really does feel like they're like, what do we have laying around in the props closet? Smush it together to make a monster. Yeah. This did not feel like that. Then we go back to the Hyperion Hotel, and I do like, I'm like upset for Cordy. I hate seeing her like crying and freaking out like this, because that's so not her, right? And that's how you know it's like a serious thing affecting her, right? Because this is not the normal Cordelia wouldn't be like crying and freaking out the way she is. They need more info. She finds the name of the school where the kids go. Angel asks her if there's anything he can get her, and she gets annoyed and says, why does everyone keep asking? Which is an important point for later.
Yeah.
Then we go back to Wolfram Hart. The meeting with this client has nothing to do with the episode, right? I was like, wait, does this fit into, is this guy part of the clinic? He's not, right? It's just like a random dude.
I don't know. I'm really bad, you know, with stuff like that, like those little things. I'm really bad at connections sometimes.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I have the synopsis up from like the Buffy fan Wikipedia, and it does say, well, the two lawyers meet with a new client, and they like just say new client. They don't even like mention who it is. So I guess that's like, but Lila notices that Lindsey has his new hand, and so she gets nervous because she knows how much money that costs. She feels like it means they picked him, which it does.
Right.
And he does pick up his guitar before going to work, which is important.
Yeah, we see that scene again. Mm-hmm. You know, him, you know, doing all his things, washing his ass, and then was that in there?
I don't know. I think that was in the version you and I made in our heads, though.
And then he starts playing. And you're like, please cut. And it kind of takes just like 2 seconds too long.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, that's enough. We understand. You can play guitar.
We get it. So she like mentions how much that must have cost. I do like that the guy feels like a very like MAGA dude, and he's like, the Chinese, and Lindsey's like, actually it was a company, not the Chinese. Appreciated that. But then we see that he's taking notes, and we see that the notes say what, Jason?
Oh, they say kill
all over the notepad. And like, I don't know, fine, sure. That feels like a Simpsons bit, which I think it is. I think that's a Simpsons Halloween of Horror episode where like there's like a haunted something, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't have the punch that like they were going for, right?
Yeah.
It's like, Okay. So what?
Like, okay.
God, I really do feel
because it almost gave away just like pretty much everything already.
Right, because that tells you, it's his new hand.
Like here, you're just like, okay, now we know what's happening. Cool.
Like, can we move on? But we can't. Like, we still like sit in the episode for way too long to get to what they. You are right. It's like literally they show us and we know, and then we have to wait like 20 more minutes for the reveal.
And we have to wait for Lindsey to like, doesn't he like cut himself or like stab his hand or something? And I'm like, to see, like, you're just filling time right now.
It really is, because it's like he's watching his hand, right? And then he stabs it, and then he's just looking at it, and it's like, all right, I get it. Yes, I know what's happening.
Be like, we get it. Do you get it, Lindsey?
Like, how do you not? It's a haunted hand. Ooh. So then we go. God, I feel like this episode's going to be like 30 minutes.
We are not doing well. Like everyone's going to, like anyone who didn't like rewatch or is rewatching after they listen, they're going to be like, oh, I don't want to rewatch this.
God. Then we cut back to the Hyperion Hotel, and this is, I think, also a very important scene for moving forward with a different part of the plot of Angel. Because he's brought
the food.
Right, the food. Because he's brought Cordy like one of everything.
Which honestly, I love that. That is love right there.
Right? And I feel like this is, I think, because I mean, we've been rewatching season 2, and I think this is like maybe the moment when I'm like, which is weird because I like don't like this episode. It's kind of a nothing, but I feel like this is the moment when you're like, oh, he does have like feelings for her, right?
Mm-hmm. I get, well, the thing is, I don't think my first watch through, let's say playthrough, I gamed too much. My first watch through though, I didn't kind of pick that up because I was like, no, there's no way. It's just like,
right.
It's just something I didn't expect to see.
That's fair.
I
was talking about this with Zach the other day because like I feel like you're kind of like this too, where it's like, I could also see this being like, oh, she is literally like a best friend. I could see that, but like moving forward, we know that's not what it is, because I do feel like I do this, and like you and I have done this, where it's like,
yeah,
oh, I love that person, so I am gonna like go out and do something nice for them and and it's not a romantic thing. It's like, oh, I love this person; they're one of my best friends.
Yeah,
sure.
And we would get each other one of everything.
Yes, and
then would eat it all, though.
I was about to say, but we would eat it all. It'd be we wanted it all.
Correct.
So like I could see like someone, because I have had people comment saying they did see them more as best friends, and like I do think that's valid, and they wanted them to stay like best friends. And I know both the shows kind of do want you to want a romance.
Right.
And you don't always need it, but I do like them together, right?
Almost every show still does it to this day. Like,
yes.
Platonic is not a word in Hollywood, apparently.
Right. Yeah. Like Adam, to promote Adam Sass's new book, that he said that he put Your Lonely Nights Are Over is his new horror slasher YA book. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Very like Scream, but gay. And he said he was like, I kind of based 2 of the characters on a little bit on you and Zach. And I was like worried that something terrible would happen to them, but he was like, because they're platonic gay best friends who like love each other, but there isn't like a romance.
Right.
And I was like, oh, cool. I do like that, because we don't get that. Because you're right. Like everything still kind of wants all the things to be a romance. And even the joke in the book is like people keep saying, no, they're dating, but they're not. They're just best friends.
Right.
So I like that. But in this case, I do think, especially when she like pauses and she's like, I love you. And the smirk he gives is very... right? So cute.
It is.
So then the gang comes in and they say the name of the episode, that they're at a dead end. And I...
They did the thing.
I was ready to point at the screen. Jason, maybe you can tell me. I know you probably can't. I'm not sure why then they're like, we can't find any information. Well, Angel has to sing at Caritas. I don't understand. I guess maybe it's like Lauren will tell him what he needs to do. Right?
What do you mean? Like haven't they already like kind of, because Angel, remember when he went to sing like in his dark place, because
well, that's what I mean.
They kind of know it's a,
but I mean, like, I don't understand how like I guess that's just like Lauren puts you on your path, but it feels like this is not like Angel. It's not something that happened to Angel, but I guess it's like the powers that be sent Cordy the vision, so maybe it is considered something. Whatever. They go to Caritas. They want to go see Lauren. And who is singing on stage when we get there?
See, this is a setting though. Like,
yes.
I'm not even annoyed at this because he's on a stage at a bar where people sing. And like, for me, I'm like, yeah, this is the venue. Setting.
Yes.
So and it's funny, like, I wasn't even annoyed with it. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I don't love the song, but I think it's like kind of country-ish. That's why it wouldn't be up our alley, but he is good, right?
Yeah, like, but like for this, it's just, I wasn't annoyed. Like, you know?
Yeah, and he looks hot. I mean, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can't pretend he doesn't look hot because he does. And I actually really like Angel being like almost annoyed that everyone likes Lindsey singing. How he's like kind of jealous.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, you think he's good? And we see like Cordy, Wesley, and Gunn and Lauren all like hearts in their eyes looking at the stage. And I do like what Angel says because, I mean, I kind of agree when he's like, what is that, rock, country, ballad? Pick a style, pal. Because he's just being a brat.
He absolutely is.
Right. And like, Angel's not like that with any of the other, like,
with anyone else. But that's same with Lindsey. Like, those two, they just got some business.
Some business.
They have some business.
That's what my conservative grandma would also call what I do with men. Some business. Lauren is like, tells Angel to shush. Because he's being bratty. Lindsey comes off stage, and basically Lauren is like, you two need to work together. Then they puff their chests to hide their boners, and the like Lindsey, I mean, being like, I don't want to work with the guy who chopped off my hand is understandable. That's like, well, sure, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But God, I didn't even put it in my notes. Is it they just like they decide they're not, but then they do, right? It's like they say they're not going to work together. That's like the end of this scene.
Yeah. They kind of, obviously they both didn't want to do it. I mean, They both did want to do it, but they both didn't want to do it.
Right.
Out loud.
Jason. So then we cut to Wolfram and Hart. Lindsey's going through the new boss's files.
I just need, I mean, I know the point of the files looking so bad is so people can understand exactly what's happening. I just hate the way it looks. I'm like, oh God, look at these.
Right. Like, it's real rough.
I know it's to make us easily understand.
Yeah.
But it's just, oh God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I also like that he's a little petty and he looks at like what they say about Lila first.
Oh, he had to. Like, come on, wouldn't you?
I mean, yes, but I like that they included that because it's like she is his competition. So he's like, let me see what they got on her. Let's look at this. And then like, I mean, is it here? Yes, we also see that Lila is also snooping and going through files. And the thing I like about Lila that I think we've talked about before, while Lindsey was the one that was going to get the promotion, Lila is the more confident in who she is one, right? Like, she's not trying to pretend. Like, Lindsey goes back and forth and is like tortured.
Like, Lindsey's always battling. Right. Like, Lila's just, I got this, fam.
Yeah, right? Like, and I really appreciate that about Lila, that she's like, I'm going to do what I got to do and fuck you, I don't care. Like, there's no like moral compass of being upset about doing, like, just like if you're a commit, right? Yeah. That's what I like about her, because she is smart and she does need to be going through these files. So she has shit on them to like also protect her own ass. Jason, I will say this reminded me a little of you.
What?
When Angel's like, oh, I found the guy. I don't know. I found him. I just did my job. I found him. And then he's like, all right, I hired a separate PI. Like, I feel like this is some shit you would do with me when we lived together.
I'm so bad with details. That's why.
Not my Jason. No. But I do like that. And Cordy, I liked it when he's like, maybe you should. And she's already looking him up on whatever database.
Cordy is already at it. Like,
she's on it. And at this point, she is like good at that job, right? Like, she knows what she's doing with this shit.
Yeah.
Also, I realized I don't think I could even tell you how that matters, that they like find the guy's name, other than like, I think he did work for Wolfram and Hart at some point. Right? Pop quiz, yes. Jason.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Because it's who they found is the guy's hand, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, he did. And I think he ended up being kind of bad.
Or was he one of the people in the tube?
We are so good at this.
God.
You know what? Let's just keep going.
Yeah. All right. So we then see that Lindsey is going to their lead's apartment. This man that is a lead, he goes to his apartment into a fight. And again, Angel pops. I do like this bickering when Angel pops up and kind of saves Lindsey, and he's holding the guy through the window. And he says something like, "It's all about killing you, Lindsey." And the way he's mocking him, this is two teenagers flirting, right?
Oh, come on.
I mean, right? And when Angel's "Oh, he's my lead," making fun of what Lindsey said. I'm all right, dudes, that guy is a third wheel right now. Just beat him up and then go fuck.
These two, it really they really pulled across the pettiness and the tension the whole time.
Yeah.
And maybe it was on accident or on purpose, but it was so good.
That's what I wonder, because apparently they were friends before the show. They were actually good friends. So maybe it's just that they're these two actors are so comfortable with each other. That's why it works so well, because it's they were David Boreanaz was more comfortable being mocking him and being shitty and sarcastic.
Right.
But either way, Lindsey and Angel, the characters, definitely should be fucking. Angel threatens the guy. He's "Oh, I won't kill you, but I'll keep you hostage for months and feed off you." And Lindsey tells him he's gross. And then they go on an adventure together to the clinic where Lindsey got his new hand.
Right.
They end up in the basement where we see it's people whose body parts they've taken, right? These people are in the incubator tube thingies.
Yeah. They're exactly what you expect it to be.
Yeah, that is true. Jason, I feel it's going to be a 35-minute episode.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, we'll have a lot to say at the end.
Yeah.
They just kind of they see that symbol, whatever. That means the demons are protecting the clinic. They get all the people out, and then they blow it up. And sure, fine. I don't know.
Let's blow things up.
It's so weird that it takes so long to get to that plot point, and then we just kind of wrap it up in a minute, right?
Yeah, it's the stuff they spent time on, Lindsey is staring at his hand, staring at his guitar, and it's all right, this guy told us the place, let's go to it. I mean, to be fair, I feel this is how you got to do it, is just do it fast, but not when it's on a TV show,
right? Yeah.
It feels rushed for sure.
Yes, it does. It really feels like they were the plot of this episode is Lindsey is leaving. Angel and Lindsey will have a goodbye talk. What's the plot? What's the B plot that needs to be the moving action or whatever? And so then we get our closure, which is Angel's talking to Cordy, and she does say the visions are taking a toll on her, which I do kind of like that starts here, but isn't fully addressed till next season is when that's
yeah, it's a minute.
I mean, that's what I think these shows always do really well, right? They're plant little seeds of plot points that we'll come back to next year. And I like that, right? Because it does feel like it makes sense.
I like when they spend time. I don't know. It makes it seem like they're thinking about a lot more, and early on too,
Yes. And that's why we like these shows, right? Because they are thinking of that shit early on.
A few little things here and there,
Yeah. So then we get the Wolfram and Hart scene. Lila's freaking out. And the thing is, I do even though I just said she's confident, I understand that because she's fuck, this means they might kill me, right?
Yeah, I feel you can't just leave Wolfram and Hart.
Right. I feel there's no okay, I'll quit. They send you to hell or something. So Lila starts freaking out, and Lindsey has his big, is it Liar Liar? I was what movie is there some guy has a big meltdown that's kind of funny, but kind of ridiculous in an office? I think I might have been thinking of Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, but I don't know if you can think of
there's
one.
A lot of movies.
That's true.
But that, what's that? Oh, fucking shit. That Tom Cruise movie. The You Had Me at Hello movie.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. Jesus Christ.
I know the line. But he has a freak out in the office.
That's true. He does.
I don't know. Yeah. But I guess.
I love it. two old men try to say a movie to each other. Like, fuck.
We should just do a whole episode of that. Everyone's gonna hate this episode. I just want to throw it out there.
Going into this, I was like, well, Jason and I have known each other for so long. This is gonna be great. And just both of us being like, what? God. Sorry to everyone listening.
Yeah, sorry.
So yeah, then Lindsey like officially gets the promotion, but he understandably is mad that they gave him an evil hand knowing it was evil, but like what a ridiculous sentence. He has his freak out, they call in security, he gets the gun, shoots the guard in the foot, which I appreciated. And I did like
the foot shot.
Yeah, and I like that the one old man, he's like, Richard, and like messes up his hair of the like one old dude.
Yeah, like the little, like he gave him like a noogie. Yeah. It's like, hey.
Feels like more humiliating.
It actually is. Like, absolutely. Like, then just slapping him.
Right.
Let's rub your hair.
Like, knock me out, please, instead. Then he tells them that they should give it to Lila. And at first when I was watching this, I was like, wait a minute, is he trying to get them to kill her? But they don't care, right? Like, they don't care that she stole shit if she's, like, still going to be part of the company.
Yeah.
And he's like, she has so much on all of you.
Yeah, like, she's perfect. Yeah. Like, he shows it. Like, she knows.
Yes. And, like, I do like that the look on her face, because she's nervous, right? She doesn't know if he's, like, bullshitting and going to, like, try to kill her or something. She's kind of like, what the fuck? Then he slaps her on the ass, which, like, give me a break.
I was like, come on.
Right?
Like, come on. The whole scene, then you had to do that.
Right. Also, like, he's so gay. Like, he is not, like, one of those dudes that's like, oh, like, I don't know. But whatever, sure.
Didn't work.
He's having a breakdown. He's going to do out-of-character things, right? Sure.
Sure.
The boss then says to amend the minutes. Lila Morgan gets her promotion, which I will say, if I had to pick one of the two to stay on, I think I would pick her because, like, she gets really great, right? Like, once they let her.
Oh, you mean like if you had to choose the two, yeah, Lila is good. Like, again, she's a solid villain.
Yes, and that actor is really good. Like, I don't know, I like, and I think of in season 3, I don't know if you remember the episode when they like Angel saves that guy for Wolfram and Hart. I don't remember why, but then he's like a crazy misogynist where he makes like men beat up women. And like, there's a moment where like Cordelia's facing off against him and Lila just comes in and shoots the guy. Like, I love that. Because Lila's God. Fuck you. You got me beat up. Now I'm killing you. And like, I don't think Lindsey would get a moment like that, right?
No, I don't think so.
And even when Lindsey comes back in season 5, I like it, but it's not, I don't know. I like it, but it's I don't know. It's not anything. It really should have been, I'm coming back because I'm still in love with my ex or something like that. That's how it should have been played.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, no. And we do get him back after Lila is unfortunately killed in the previous season. But so, yeah, then we get Lindsey and Angel's goodbye. Unfortunately, there's no kissing, but it is flirty, right?
It's nice.
Yeah. It's nice.
it's nice.
It feels, Angel reminds me a little bit of like Drusilla in this scene because it feels like he's playing with Lindsey. Like he's like having a good time being there.
Yeah.
And he's like rubbing his finger along the truck, which is flirty, and like making direct eye contact and, saying kind of like weird, shitty things. I don't know. I can never tell if like, does Angel are we supposed to believe that Angel fucking hates him or that Angel feels mixed about Lindsey?
I mean, I felt here is that it's still kind of mixed. It's not like full good, but it's like, all right.
But he has like respect for him because he's leaving and quit.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And he's done a few things like, in his time at Wolfram and Hart.
That's true.
But I just have to point out again, he had his bag of things and he's leaving a lot behind. Obviously, he couldn't leave his damn guitar behind.
He sure couldn't, Jason.
Someone should have told him he should have.
Angel's like, you can go, but I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna
keep this guitar. I'm gonna smash it.
You don't need this. He just throws it.
Don't play this on your bed anymore.
I do like when Lindsey says, "You here to talk me to death?" Like I do.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I was thinking, like, man, they are doing a lot of like it's just, and Angel's not really saying much to him, right? It's not like he's like, I don't know. It's just they're just like saying a lot of words, but I mean, one could interpret it that they're saying a lot of words and saying nothing because it's like they just want to fuck. It's like, God, I'm so attracted to this person that I don't have anything to say, but I'm gonna keep talking so we can be in each other's company.
I think they don't like. I think here is just like they don't fully know, what part they're gonna be playing.
Yes, I think that's
since they both understand there is still a lot to come.
That's really smart, Jason. Then no, that's good
because they both but seriously, like that's what I think because like. I know, Lindsey doesn't have like superpowers or anything, but like he knows all the like prophecies and stuff. Right. So
and he like worked for Wolfram and Hart, so you got to know what's going on in the demon world.
So I feel like that's and Angel too, like obviously,
doesn't Lindsey say? I didn't write it down. Doesn't he say like you have to play their game?
Yeah, like he's giving. That's the thing. Yeah, he was also giving advice like, hey, like. Obviously, there's still a lot left to come, but like, don't play their game or don't play their game. Make them play yours, something like that.
Yes, and so I almost feel like that advice sticks with him because I mean, season 5, right?
Oh, it absolutely sticks with him. Which is funny watching it back because when I heard that, I was like, oh, interesting. I never even like thought about that advice.
Yep, because I really do feel like that's what he does in season 5, and that's like. He is like, sure, I will take this promotion and I'll try to like ruin the law firm from the inside out. Then Angel tells him not to drive too fast. A lot of cops out there. Lindsey gets in his, old farmer truck, drives off. And what's attached to the back of his truck, Jason?
Cops suck.
Like,
I don't know. Listen, I don't know what was happening at the time, but I love the sentiment.
Right, it's like not quite what we would expect, but like sure.
It wasn't even a bumper sticker or anything. It was just a sign,
a giant sign, and like it looks like it's written by a kid. Like
it was honestly beautiful. Like it just, I mean, it definitely like broke me out of the scene.
Yes,
but. I don't know why. I was like, yeah, okay.
Well, like, fine. Also, right?
It's okay, like, Lindsey.
Okay, yeah. I wish in season 5 if he'd been like, I left town and then I got pulled over 800 times because of Angel. Lindsey leaves and we do not see him again until season 5. And I almost kind of like that it's like Lila takes the head position. I mean, I don't like that she dies, but then like Lila dies and Lindsey comes back because it's like we do need one of them. In the series.
I'll tell you what, like I remember Lindsey coming back because like by season 5, I kind of just like, you're like, well,
yeah,
Lindsey's done. But like, and I'm sure I don't want to talk about it too much because I probably want to do that episode, but I remember that moment and you literally, we were on the couch and you looked at me to see my reaction and I was so happy.
It is like a good surprise because you're right. You do kind of, like what 3 seasons he's gone. You don't expect a character who was like in every other episode who then leaves to come back 3 seasons later. Like usually it means like, oh, that actor quit, right? Like that's usually what that means.
Yeah. Which I'm sure we'll talk about again because I'm sure you're going to be like, I think Jason wants to be on this episode.
Yes, of course. Are you kidding? I like anytime Lindsey, I'm like, well, Jason, like,
yeah.
Yeah, and so that's, the end of Lindsey's arc for now. It is funny thinking, like, then he comes back and, like, fully fucking hates Angel, but I do think that tracks, right? Like, even though they were, like, kind of cool here, like, Lindsey's...
Right. Like, I feel like, in the end, Lindsey is quite, like, evil and battles it a lot, but like, when he's not around the good, the, like, Angel or the good people, he has no battle. He has no internal battle.
Right.
He goes right to like
playing that guitar.
Oh, fuck everyone. Except Angel.
Well,
I don't know why, but
Angel literally, but
yeah.
Everyone else figuratively.
Yeah.
Jason, this may be the fastest we've like on Slayerfest 98 blown through an episode, but also there's only 2 of us.
True, there is 2 of us. And the thing is, like, normally when we have more people, we definitely go on more tangents.
Yes.
I slowed myself down after the first guitar one. I was just like, okay, Jason,
well,
gotta calm down.
You know, this almost felt like, so we lived together how many years? 5 years? Yeah, 5 years? 4 years?
Five.
It almost felt like after we watched an episode of Angel, like on the couch in our underwear, unshowered, eating pizza. This is like we talked about it after.
Yeah, but the wild part was like you knew what was going to happen. I didn't.
And now you do. Now you know.
I do know.
Well, I guess since we're at the end, favorite scene, Jason.
The thing is the food. Because I feel like, I know you knew I was going to say that because both of us, when we lived together, would do that for each other.
Yes, we would.
Like, we would text each other or something. Did we text then? No, I'm just joking.
Not that long ago, Jesus.
I feel old. But we would text each other, I'm hungry. And literally, whoever got that text would come home with all this food.
Yeah, same. The food scene is just so cute. But all right, aside from the food scene, if we had to pick like a Lindsey scene, what would...
I know it's not... I'm surprised I didn't even pick a Lindsey scene. The thing is, like... it's got to be the end scene.
Yeah.
Because anytime both Angel and Lindsey are just talking to each other, it always makes for a good scene, no matter what it's about.
Yeah. No, it really does. And I kind of like this version of them together where they're not fully bickering. They're not fighting, like fist fighting, but like, I don't know. I like this version where they're a little bit more comfortable with each other. They both are kind of like, we're chill. We know that like Wolfram and Hart sucks.
Cause like, and the thing is, normally I'm on board with like the fighting scenes with Lindsey and Angel, like, but like, I think at that point, like, especially when I first watched it, it was nice to have that scene.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Like the other talking scene I remember, I like when Lindsey came to Angel's office that one time, and boy, did they stare at each other. It was like Twilight stare at each other. Like, yeah. But normally, but like their scenes together are just so good. Like, someone put together like a fan cam of Angel and
I feel like Lindsey there has to be somewhere. I feel
like someone find it for us. Tag us in it. I'm
like, oh, I found it. It's made by Jason Sullivan. All right. And what was your favorite outfit, Jason?
I can't say shirtless Lindsey, can I?
You can. Yes, you damn right. You damn sure can. Like,
because like I still feel like it's so tough sometimes to choose the outfits. Nothing stood out that much besides Lindsey's nips. You know what I mean? Like it's normally there'll be something like, ooh, I like that. Or like, ooh, that like really captures the time. I feel like everything was kind of plain in this.
Yeah.
Like even Lauren's outfit was like, it was good, but like it wasn't as vibrant.
Yes, as like usually his are.
Yeah.
I will say the like Henley that he puts on, the man wears it well. But I think you might have convinced me that yes, shirtless Lindsey was the best outfit because he looked great.
His outfit was his blanket.
Yes.
If anyone's wondering.
His little towel that's tied around his waist. That's
yeah, you know.
What grade do we give this episode?
It might be C-.
Ooh. Yeah.
This episode, like, and normally I'm very lenient with episodes.
Yes.
But it's because it's Lindsey. Everything felt rushed. It you know what? It's a fart. Like it was
to quote
like I love how you
quote the poet Ian Carlos Crawford, it was a fart
from 30 minutes earlier. But yeah, C-. Like I feel like they could have done so much better.
Yeah.
With Lindsey exiting.
I gave it a C because there are good scenes. Like we said, there's like the Cordy scene, there's the them at the end scene, but like everything between it is kind of like, and like, yeah. So I give it a C. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason, this was nice. This is just us. This was nice.
This was nice. Yeah. The last time we did this was a Patreon episode, right?
Yes, that has not come out yet.
Oh, so if you like this, y'all, get ready. Sub to Slayerfest Patreon at Slayer. I don't know where it's at, but it's on Patreon.
And if you don't like it, still subscribe to Slayerfest 98's Patreon.
Oh, yeah. If you want a better one, it might be the Patreon.
I think we watched, it was the Angel finale together, right?
Oh, we
Yeah, so you
did.
can watch
That
us
was a
both
really
cry.
good one.
It's a watch along, and we both cry, so you can see both these two idiots cry on screen live.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about it again.
If you like Slayerfest 98, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. You can subscribe to us on Patreon. And if you want to follow us on social media, you can find us at SlayerFestX98. If you want to follow me, I'm at ENX Carlos. Jason, and where can everyone find your things?
I'm Jason Sully, Sulli on Twitch mainly. Everything else I'm there. I'm not active, but I try to be. Maybe on YouTube too. I don't know. But Twitch mainly.
Yes, Twitch.
Yeah.
We will see you next time. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
And now we'll be taking a short 3-week intermission from our Angel Season 2 coverage because we'll be having 2 new episodes a week covering the new Audible audio drama, Slayer's A Buffyverse Story. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's fantastic. You should listen, but also you should check out our coverage of it. We'll be doing episode by episode, spoiler-free, only spoilers for that episode and what came before it. I'm listening as we record. It's a lot of fun. Cordelia's a Vampire Slayer. Sign me up. And then we'll come back with our Angel Season 2 coverage and finish out the rest of the season. See you guys later. Thanks.